We are now on the deductible pension trust. Okay, so an employer is allowed to deduct from the gross business income the contributions and payments made to pension trusts in accordance with a reasonable private benefit plan. So here in the Philippines, we have two types of benefit plan. We have defined benefit plan, which is the employer handles and manages the fund, while definite contribution plan, whereas there's a trust fund handled by a third person. Okay, so what are the requirements of that plan? Okay, the plan must be reasonable and the plan must be approved by the BIR. Okay, so how do we account for the deductible pension trust? Okay, the tax code provides that the allowable deduction of pension trust is equal to the provision for the payment of reasonable pensions based on the actuarial agreement or valuation and the excess of the actuarial over the actual contribution is amortized over the period of 10 years. So we have a problem for that. A corporation maintains BIR-registered defined benefit retirement plan. The company's normal cost per actuarial valuation for funding is 900,000 and 950 for years, current year, and the previous year, respectively. The actual contributions of a corporation for the retirement plan were 1,100,000 and 800,000 for years, current year, and the previous year, respectively. So, to compute for the deductible retirement expense would be, in 2008, we have to get the lower between the normal or actuarial. So, in the 2008, actual is 1,100,000 versus the normal cost, which is 900. So, we have to pick the 900,000. On the 2000B, the normal is, or the actual contribution is 800,000, while the normal cost is 950. Therefore, the highest or the lower is 800,000. Okay, so we are picking 800,000 for 2000B. So, if we are going to observe, there is an excess of contribution over the normal cost, in which according to tax code, we have to amortize the excess contribution over the normal cost into a period of 10 years. So, therefore, the 200,000 excess will be divided by 10. Ayan. So, therefore, the amortization will be added to the normal or actuarial contribution, which is lower. So, therefore, nadagdagan po ng 20,000 each per year because of the amortization of excess contribution. Okay, so we are here on the charitable and other contributions. Generally, charitable and other contributions are deductible from the gross income. Pero meron pa din tayo, again, requisites for this one, enable for it to be valid deduction sa gross income natin. So here are the following. The taxpayer making the charitable contribution must be engaged in the profession or business. There must be an actual payment of the contribution or gift. And then the recipient must be an entity or an institution. Ayan. And the income of the institution must not inure to the benefit of the individual or private stockholder. Meron tayong mga contribution that are deductible in full at meron din tayong mga contribution that are subject to limit. Ano-ano yung mga contribution deductible in full? So, ito yung mga donations to the government of the Philippines regarding to a specific priority activities in education, health, youth and sports development, human settlements, and economic development. Okay? Another one, donations to international organizations in compliance with agreements, treaties, or commitments entered into by the government of the Philippines and other foreign institutions. And dapat yung donations to accredited non-government organizations subject to the following requisites must be to be deducted in full. So, dapat no more than 30%, which should be used for administrative purposes. Process revealed the following data regarding his income and expenses in the taxable year. Gross income from business, 800,000. Business expenses allowed as deduction, except contributions, is 600,000. For the charitable contributions to the government, we have for specific priority activities in education worth 50,000, and for public purposes 60,000, and to the church for a total of 15,000. The total deductible charitable expenses of paras would be, okay, so let's assume that the donor is an individual taxpayer. So we have to pick the contributions deductible in full, which is a priority activities and education, 50,000. The contribution subject to limit, yun yung for public purposes and for church. The total contributions in actual is 75,000, but we have to get the limit first. So the limit is 10% of the taxable income derived from business. So we have to get first the taxable income. So gross income 800,000 minus business expenses before the contribution 600,000, multiply it by 10%, therefore 20,000 pesos, which is lower, the 75,000 or the 20,000. So it is the limit, which is smaller, 20,000. So for a total deductible charitable contributions of 70,000 pesos. What if the donor is a corporation? So same process, we have to get the charitable contributions deductible in full, which is the 50,000 for priority education activities, and then contribution subject to limit, and the total is 75,000 for public purposes and for the church. But we have to set the limit first, 800,000 minus 600,000, but this time we have to multiply it by 5% kasi corporation siya. Therefore, the total is 10,000. Actually, the smaller is also the limit pa din, which is 10,000. Kaya, naging 60,000 all in all yung total deductible charitable contributions if the donor is a corporation. If we are going to discuss research and development as deductible expenses to the gross income, ito po yung mga basis niya. If it is for ordinary and necessary expenses, ayan, pwede natin siyang i-deduct in the year the expenses are paid or incurred. Pero pwede din natin siyang i-deferred. Pero kapag i-deferred natin si research and development, it will be allowed as deduction ratably distributed over the period of not less than 60 months, beginning with the month which the taxpayer first realizes benefits from such expenditures of research and development. Now, on the last and final itemized deduction, which is premium payments for health, hospitalization insurance, or PPHHI. So, an actual premium payments for health and or hospitalization insurance taken by an individual taxpayer for himself or for his family are allowed as deduction at an amount not exceeding 2,400 per family or 200 pesos a month, whichever is lower during the year, provided that their family total income, when you say total income ng nuclear family, okay, does not exceed 250,000 pesos for the calendar year.